we have since been joined by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa. Thank you so much indeed. There's so much to talk about tonight. But I will allow you some kind of opening statement on what would you say from the defense point of view. Of course, the man that superintends and does from the House of Reps is here, Honorable Jimmy Benson. But from the operational point of view, can you tell us what is the major issue? The military is now so much involved in internal policing. It does look like you're being taken away from your primary assignment and you are doing secondary and leaving the primary. What would you say is your major problem military-wise?
Thank you very much. I'm really very happy to be here, and it's good to be with this forum today. Well, I think as Nigerians, first and foremost, we need to take ownership of what's going on in the country. And when I say ownership, it is not the time for us to start trading blames on who to do it. We are dealing with asymmetric warfare, which is a new kind of warfare. It's different from the conventional term, and that's what we want to make very clear. Conventional warfare is between country to country. Now, asymmetric warfare, you are dealing with non-state actors, people you don't know, people that are your own. I give you some examples. Sometimes when we go on cordon and search operations, the same village you get in, they hide the weapons, catch them, they don't have anything, and you proceed. And they dig out these weapons and fire you from the rear. It is difficult because you don't even know who is your enemy. Everybody is an enemy. There is no front. Everywhere, is a front as much as possible. Now, the challenges we're having is that understanding. I'm happy that it is changing. And if you see from what the armed forces and the police are doing now, we are being very people-centric in our approach because we understand that asymmetric warfare has to do with the people. Wherever we are protecting, wherever we're guiding, wherever we're operating, if we don't have the buy-in of the people, then there's a big challenge, and that's the problem. Now, why do we have challenges in the country? It did not start now. It has started since. My advice always is no country should allow asymmetric warfare to commence. It is difficult to eradicate. Why? You are dealing with ideology. And once you have that ideology built in, it's difficult because you see the person, you don't know what he's thinking about. You don't know what's in his mind. We have seen people that we have told them, they are still telling us that we are wrong and they are right, as it is. So we need to come together as a country to be able to tackle this, and it should be nipped in the bud for every country, I advise.
CDS,
yes.
It's almost 20 years that the military has been in the Northeast.
Yes.
Have you been able to win the war?
15 war. Well, it's not, that's why I'm saying asymmetric warfare is not, the only time you know that you've won the war is when there's total restoration of civilian authority. Total. When everybody is in. And I can tell you, I was the theater commander in Operation Hattinkai for 19 months. By the time I left there, we had over 75,000 that have surrendered. Now we have over 120. To tell you that we are succeeding. For us to know that it is total, one of the areas where we have challenge, the issue of good governance. Asymmetric warfare has a direct flux to do with good governance. Why? If your people can't eat, if they're unemployed, these are recipes that will always have where you have people that want to own up. On average, on a daily basis, all the theater operations we have, we take out over 600 bandits, terrorists, insurgents on weekly basis. But I tell you, over 2,000 are coming in. And why is that so? We have population, they can from everywhere. If you move into rural areas, we don't have roads. Where my men have the greatest challenge is IEDs, because there are no road infrastructure. So those are the areas that we have, and that's why this war is an all-society approach.
So it's not time yet for the military to leave the Northeast?
No, like I said, it's an ongoing operation. We're doing the best we can, together with the police and all that, but what we're calling is the buy-in of Nigerians. Let us stop this aspect of saying it's a military or it's a security. No. It is everybody's responsibility. Until you protect what you love. Until Nigerians start loving Nigeria. I mean, you see people coming and castigating the president or castigating the nation as a whole. You are not doing anybody any good. And again, the power of words in what you say. Efforts have been made. For the past 1 year, things have actually improved greatly. We are not where we are. It's not where we want to, but I'm sure we're moving towards. Where we have issues, equipment that we want to use, because we don't produce what we need, is a major challenge.
But we understand that the Daikon law...
That is what is happening now. Yes, the process is on now.
But there are local fabrication and...
The process is on. We're also processing them, and that's what we're doing.
But it's not enough.
It's not, no, definitely it's not enough. We have a population of over 200, a mass of over 900,000. It's not easy. The whole of Sambisa alone is more than some European countries as a whole. The whole of Niger State takes almost 10% of Nigerian land mass. It's massive. Now, over time, we left the forest empty. Border management has not been too good. Those are areas where these guys took advantage of and they're using. And that's why I said good governance does a lot in mobilizing the people, the citizens, to understand that, yes, this is my country, I'm ready to die for my country. And that's why it's key. How do we get our leadership? Critical. We must find leaders that are really committed. Committed in the sense that Nigeria must grow, Nigeria must develop. And that's why some of the security challenges we're having, some of them are mostly political, some are economic, some are social. Now, to take you through the trajectory of criminality. Once acts of criminality, there's no that is criminal. Once it starts with criminality, it gets to robbery, it moves up insurgency. Now, in them and they can't operate, the next thing is to criminality, and that's why you get into banditry, and because it's a social effect. People are looking for money. I'm sure you have read where family members are kidnapping family members. In fact, we have seen a situation where an individual kidnapped himself. All for what? To make money. So that's why it is. The society must develop beyond that. And sometimes when I hear people trying to compare with America, we are not America. We are different people. Why is the Chinese proceeding? Chinese understand that you must understand your environment. Every law you want to create, understand who you are. It guides you. Because we're different. Our cultures, our traditions, our distance are different. But we seem to carry everything hook, line, and sinker. It's America. No. We need to develop as a nation.
Serious,
yes.
Just a moment. Because I know there are about 4 people in the room that are standing by. If you could go to your microphone so that we can take some questions now. But quickly, your deradicalization mechanisms and some of the efforts in getting the former Boko Haram insurgents, those who said they have repented, and that those who have questioned your system. And I'd like to ask you, does it work? Has it worked? It
is working very well. I mean, initially, I was a commander when it started. We were the ones that started. And every process we did, we worked together with the state because the state had the authority on ground. Before it started, when we communicated with them and they were willing to surrender, the state were the one that actually took the mantle and we followed up. Everyone that surrendered came first to the security forces that were closest to them. They were disarmed. We got the DSS to profile them. The state government provides the management and administration of those people, and we took them to their camps. We were able to separate them. We sorted them out. We have, what we realized that not all of them are combatants. That's one key area. There are some of them that were conscripted. Some were forced. In those days, when they attack a village, they gather everybody and take you. Some they were enslaved, they were used as farmers, laborers, and whatever. So we're able to sort those ones. The main ones that were the actual operators were kept separately. And what is being done is some of them now working together with the victims, because it is critical. Most times we tend to forget the victims, concentrating more on the perpetrators because we want peace. We don't want that kind of peace. We have had the operation, we have operated in Sierra Leone, in other countries. We've seen how it is. The tendency is you concentrate more on the perpetrators and forget the victims. So we always carry the victims. The communities were the ones that before anybody is allowed to go back, the communities will decide there, determine that yes, this person had nothing to do with it. Because the good thing again for Borno is everybody did themselves. So it was a lot easier for us to do. And then we now use the issue of the civilian jail. Why is important? Because I heard the Zamfara state governor was talking about it. Why it's different in Borno state is that it was properly carried out. We had the communities were the ones who identified the youths, the positive youths, the good youths that really loved the country. They were profiled, they were brought out. The DSS profiled them. The military gave them some little training with the mandate to protect their communities. That was the mandate, not to attack anybody, but to protect their communities. And that's why you see in Borno state that is working. Now in other areas, if they want to implement, because of the differences we have in ethnicity, in tribes, and other things that have been there, if we don't handle it properly, by the time you have these groups together, they will start attacking other communities because they have already issues on the ground And that's why it's dangerous.
Yeah.